What's going on, my beautiful people from YouTube? It is Tuesday, so you know we got to do some TA, but on top of that, we're going to take it to the next level and show you a couple of things that have been pumping lately that you should definitely watch out for. Make sure you pay attention to these tokens because we're in a bear market right now, and this is the time to get into things, and you're going to see a lot of stuff pump over the next few months, and these are just some of the ones that I want to make sure you guys don't miss out on. And of course, there's more to it. I can't do this alone, so I have CryptoData here with me so that he can go over BTC, ETH, take a look at the overall market, and jump into some of these special tokens that do different things. CryptoData, what's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on, Action? Always good to be on here, and thank you so much for having me. Yeah, I'm excited for today. Basically, I'm going to show you all some TA for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a lot of different altcoins we have, so definitely stay tuned. But with that, let's go ahead and dive right into BTC. So looking at here, again, I haven't changed this chart at all, and it's happened exactly as we predicted. Bitcoin came up to this 300 EMA on the daily, rejected off of that, 23.8K. I said, hey, unless it closes above it on the daily, I'm still bearish. It could not close above it, rejected down. Now to our 200 EMA at 21.4K, bounced off of that, and now is at 22.1. So you literally cannot write this any better. We called this perfectly. And right now what I'm expecting is to look at a retest of 22.4K. I don't necessarily expect us to beat this on the first retest, probably go down. And you could have a retest here at a 21.8 if you're looking at DCA, or again, try to catch this 21.4 again. And if it falls below that, then the big support would be that 20,300, which there's also a CME gap around here, which I'm going to go over in a second. But again, if we do continue to break above this 22.4, then this 23.8 still remains resistance, right? This 300 EMA is very, very strong. It has been very strong, zooming out ever since, it's retested this how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4 times since January of 2022, and it's rejected off of it. So that's why it is such big resistance. So keep an eye on this. But with that, let's go ahead and talk about some fractals and then the CME gap. So this is one of the fractals.
So before you jump on that, let me just ask you, well, I'm going to point something out that people forget. Like TA is not witchcraft. It's not a guessing game. It's not like you're saying, hey, this is what's about to happen. But instead, it's more of, hey, these are the levels where we're finding resistance or support. These are the things that are taking place. And these are the, the levels that I'm either going to get in or get out at. Is that fair to say?
Exactly. Yeah. TA, technical analysis. A lot of people look at it, like you said, as witchcraft or hocus pocus stuff. It's not. It's basically, in ways, it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy where you have these periods of rejection and periods of bounce where basically you have big players coming in and buying up the coin. And basically from seeing them buy the coin, it has everyone else place their orders at that level. And again, that's why I see a lot of these levels hold, especially on the higher time frames like the daily or higher. These levels tend to be more important and tend to be stronger versus something, for example, in the 30-minute or 15-minute where you have candles busting through those levels, more times than not. So when you look at the daily chart, this is what I like to chart off of and what all of my charts are based off of, at least initially, for the support and resistance lines.
Awesome. And I know you're going to talk about futures here because I've been getting a lot of questions. People are like, oh, what are you doing with futures? And I'm like, well, that's how I make money on the way up and down. So what do you got over there as far as BTC goes?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, go right into the futures here. So for anyone who doesn't know, what's called the CME futures. So a lot of times when people trade on these, there ends up being a gap, okay? And I don't know if you've heard of the CME gap action. Have you heard of that before?
No, what's the gap?
Yeah, so the CME gap is basically the point from when you had Bitcoin have a gap in price from where it opened and where it closed at. And basically what happened here is, or between trading sessions. So you can see here that Bitcoin actually closed below 23,300 and the next day opened at 23,220. So again, there was that little $100 gap, and 9 times out of 10, this gap ends up being filled. So usually better off kind of taking the anti-trade. So basically if it closed below it, taking the long, if it closed above it, taking the short. Because if we scroll back on the 4-hour here, so you can see it had the gap to the downside, it filled it on the upside. And then scrolling back here, you can see that again, it had the gap on the downside, it filled it on the upside. And then this one gap right here, this big one.
That's a big gap, but where is it closing?
So it actually went from 20,000 all the way up to 20,890 the next day. So it's over $800 gap. So technically this needs to fill at 20,000, right? Which, as you can see, we have not gone down there yet. Even this wick here, it only went to 465. It didn't get all the way down to 20,000. So if you look at the daily, it's a little more prevalent. You can see right here. But there is also, if you scroll back here, you can see there is a gap all the way back on June 13th of 2022, which was 28,770. And since then, it gapped all the way down to 27.3. So that's over a $1,300 gap. And again, it has not filled this area yet, right? So people are wondering if we're going to fill this gap or if we're going to fill the bottom gap first. Now, basically looking at probabilities, you can see that, it's more than likely we're going to retest this 20,000 level and then basically bounce up from there. But again, it's hard to say. I mean, we still have this gap up here at 34,000. So again, there's two gaps that haven't been filled yet. So now gaps cannot be filled, or they can just take a longer time to be filled. So usually the shorter, the better. But again, it's anyone's guess right now what happens. Did you have any questions on this chart before I actually go to the fractal?
No, show me the fractal, because I mean, I'm just going to keep an eye on the thing, because if it starts to drop, I mean, that's where I'm going to hit my futures up and 200 exit.
Exactly. Hey, you already know. Exactly. And that's and this fractal here, for those who don't know what a fractal is, it's basically a pattern that's happened in the past. Now, again, history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme, as they say. So things can look similar. And there was a little fractal here on BTC where it had kind of a sideways movement. It bounced to the upside and then crashed to the downside, making one more dip, and then consolidated for at least, I would say, a couple weeks here before bringing back to the upside. Now, this time here, so we can see, again, consolidated a little bit, rose up, and then rejected down, and then consolidated, dropped all the way down, and then it's kind of been consolidating. Now, again, we are starting to break out of this fractal, so it could be invalidated. But right now, I'm expecting BTC to still bounce between this, call it 22.2 level and about 21.3. And for the next couple weeks, while alts continue to rally, and then before BTC finally takes it around March, starts to really pump. So that's what I'm looking at right now. And again, we could have one more sweep of the lows, right? I was expecting us to go to 20,000 at this drop, but we didn't. We only went to 21.3, which did coincide with the support level here. But right now, just depending, if BTC continues to pump, this fractal will be invalidated and we'll have to look for something else. But again, am considering BTC consolidating a little bit longer before pushing to the upside.
Yeah, I mean, if that fractal holds true, are we going to be able to fill that futures that we were talking about?
Exactly. No, we will not. And then basically this will kind of match up with us, going up to that 28,000 level where we actually had this gap right here at about, call it 28.7. So that would lead us to, go up to there beforehand.
Is there a time frame that you have in mind for this fractal to either be true or untrue?
Yeah, I would say if by the time we get to March, I would say if we get to mid-March and BTC hasn't started pumping like this yet, then definitely it's invalidated. Even I would say towards the beginning of March, I'm expecting at least BTC to pump in March, beginning to mid time frame. So if we haven't pumped by then over, say, this 24,000 level, this resistance here, then definitely it could be invalidated.
Got it. Makes sense.
So
now I know BTC and ETH kind of go hand in hand. What's going on that side of things?
Yeah, definitely. So going to Ethereum here, again, this is played out exactly as predicted as well, right? We had this 300 EMA that was acting as resistance. I said, hey, unless we close above it, still bearish. We did not close above it. We rejected all the way down to the support, which again, acting perfectly there. Support at about 1470, and we bounced from there. Now we did close below the daily 200 EMA, but again, it looks like we regained above it, thankfully. So right now I'm still looking at this 200 EMA as being support. But worst case, having some levels down here at 1475-ish would not be bad as well as far as the risk reward perspective. The DVO indicator is starting to curve to the upside with resistance, again, being at that 1650 level. So if you are looking to swing trade this, then I would look at 1650 at least, taking some profits, if not shorting it, if you are playing the leverage game. So that's currently what we're looking at for you. Just
a little bit. 200x is a little bit, right?
Yeah. If you don't get really serious, you go to 500x, then we're talking.
Oh man, I don't have that much capital. They don't let me go that high.
Right? You and me both.
No, that's so it's definitely playing out the way we talked about it. And I mean, I know I'm joking about the 200, X. I do the 200x every once in a while when I see things happening. Like it doesn't hurt if it's a short term thing, but like long term, I just can't. I'm not that ape, that kind of degen.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's not for everyone. And again, it's probably, you know, 20, 30 bucks, something you can afford to lose, right? And it's just a little fun to kind of scratch that itch a lot of times of just wanting to be in the market.
100%. Yeah, no, it definitely is exactly that. It's just, you know, it's like when you're going that far up as far as, you know, leverage goes, you're gambling. Like, let's be serious. That's what it is, right? You can
100%.
liquidate it in just in a blink of an eye. It's kind of crazy, and it's happened to me multiple times. And it's good to learn when you're spending 20 bucks, not when you're spending a few thousand. So that would be my recommendation whenever you're trying to, you know, test things out, or go to your, you know, your fake trading accounts that they let you play with it, because that's another great way of actually going about doing this and not, you know, hurting while you're learning to trade. Let's talk some alts, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
I got a couple of things that I want you to take a look at, because there is always opportunity whenever the market is, you know, let's say bearish, the way we were looking at it right now. You see different things kind of take off, and one of those that has actually picked up quite a bit was Aptos. And Aptos is that, you know, it's a layer 1 protocol. I mean, it's a proof of stake, just like ETH, but they have like crazy transactional power in comparison to ETH. I think they're at 150,000 transactions per second, or so their team claims, and they've been kind of taken off. Are we bearish like the rest of the market for Aptos, or what's it looking like?
So yeah, definitely. Let's go over Aptos and see if we're bullish or bearish on here. Now, before we cover it, shameless plug real quick. I do have a trading view account, Crypto Scripts, where I make different indicators, and the DVO indicator, like you've seen, I make that as well. So if any of y'all want to get access to this, again, if you just tell me you're from Action, and I'll give you at least a free month. So again, to help y'all out there, whereas people usually only get 3 days to test it out. So please let me know. And yeah, DM me on Twitter, CryptoScripts1, or TradingView, or CryptoData, as you can see on the screen up above, and I can get y'all set up with that.
All right, so I'm gonna delete that whole thing about you shilling your. No, I'm totally joking. Like that your indicators are totally worth it. But since we're plugging things, let's plug some giveaways. What do you want to give away this video, bro? We want to do a Yeti mug or a Flex Watch?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do the Flex Watch.
Boom. All right, you guys know what to do. Leave a comment down below, and what I want to know from you is which one of these tokens here are you actually looking into, you know, following, getting into, buying, whatever it is. I'm just kind of curious what you guys might know about, might be interested in. So comment down below to enter to get yourself a Flex Watch. Let's get it.
Awesome.
Let's do this
Look at that. I love it. Right on the spot. Perfect. Well, yeah, with that, let's go ahead and get into Aptos. So looking at Aptos right now on the daily, you can see that we had this huge pump on January 25th from 1230 all the way up to 1860. Now, anytime we have this huge pump, you always want to look for a retracement and for this candle to get filled and previous resistance to be turned as support. Now, that actually has happened whenever Aptos bounced on February 9th from that 1330 level, and has since made this bullish divergence, went to the upside, and now we're sitting at 1470. Now, you can see here the DVO indicator starting to curve to the upside as well, which is bullish. And then also you can see we are above this purple line, which is the 100-day EMA. And then this turquoise, or sorry, purple is a 50-day, and then turquoise is the 100-day. Now, if we go to the 4-hour, we can actually see the 200 EMA, this pink line here. So we did actually just recently break above both on the 4-hour, the 200, the 50, and the 100. And that is very, very bullish. And right now, what I'm looking for is, just looking at the daily here, is right now there's the big resistance for Aptos is still going to remain that 1850 level. Now, if y'all are trying to trade this midterm and not necessarily a full-on swing, but a scalp, then what you can look for is this $16 level. Now, this level again did prove resistance on February 7th, so it may or may not prove resistance again. But again, just a level to take some profits at, and then, you know, wait for it to break this 1850 level, and expecting it to go a lot higher from there. Yeah,
that's a way to play it safe. And if you want to get in the game without risking too much, and if it goes back up, you can always get back in, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing too. Like right now, you're in the middle of no man's land, so I'd wait for a retest, at least this 1340 level, or if you're going to short it, you know, short at 1620 or even 1850. But you know, also looking at the 4-hour here, you can see that this 1340 level, you know, nearly coincides with the 200 EMA, where it did bounce off twice on the 4-hour. So again, some good support around here around 13 to 1330. So
awesome. Yeah, and
yep,
they definitely have it on MEXC, so that's where I do my Aptos at. Let me get to the next one. I want to make sure everybody gets the info without taking too long. Next one I want to make sure you guys know about is Akash, the Akash network. And you guys know Greg running this thing. They, supposed to launch the super mini miner, and then they didn't launch it, which I'm actually bullish on, and I'll cover more about that later. A big reason why I am really looking into Akash lately has been not only because of the fact that they are a marketplace for people to buy, processing power is essentially what it is, but because there's people building cool things just like Akash AI, and you guys know that this is the year for AI, and the people that are going to get in early are going to be able to benefit from it tremendously. Akash AI is built by Overclock Labs, who are the creators of Akash Net. Basically, like, if you want to utilize Akash, it's a little bit cumbersome. It's not the easiest thing to use, and Overclock Labs is basically getting people into this thing and making it easy for them to utilize that platform. Essentially, like your computer, my computer, if you're on the Akash network, you can sell that processing power back to the marketplace in a decentralized manner, and everybody benefits from it. And because there is definitely going to be a shortage in processing power, the more AI infrastructure lags behind the usage of AI, token's going to pump. That's basically the way I'm looking at it. But what is Akash looking like right now?
So looking at the chart for Akash on the daily, you can see right now that it has been doing fairly well. I mean, just looking at since it's bounced from really the end of last year, it bounced from that 18-cent level and reached a high of 62 cents just a couple days ago. So it's looking really good for Akash. Now, right now, it did reject, and there is a little resistance right here at this 52-cent level where it's at. Okay, so I'm looking for Akash to close above this on the daily, then I'll remain bullish again and look for it to retest this target of 62 cents. So that's what I'm looking at here. Now, going on the 4-hour, you can see that it is just above its 50-day EMA. And again, it's still above its 100 and 200 EMA. So that is bullish to see. So right now, again, it is looking like it wants to break above this 52-cent level, but I'm going to keep a close eye on it. But yeah, I mean, Akash right now, what I would wait for is for it to break and hold above this, really on the daily instead of the 4-hour. If it does that on the daily, then I would probably get some here. Not financial advice, full disclaimer, but I would definitely look to get some on a break here and then target this 62 cent, which would be a nice 20% move.
And I mean, that's what I love about some of these tokens. Like, the market cap is low enough to where you can actually make a decent amount of profit fairly quickly. And last time that it was at that level, it was back in May of 2022. So you definitely see a pattern in this thing. You can definitely tell that there is something that you can actually trace all the way back. So it's like you said, looking pretty good, and I'm just waiting for it to break out again.
Yep, 100%.
Awesome. Now, last but not least, it's something that's actually very on par with Akash, but I guess you can say a little bit bigger in a sense that they are being utilized by big players on the market, which is Render Token, RNDR. Now, these guys, the people spotted them, their application, which is Octane X app, on the iPad Pro, on the ads and things of that nature, and they're like, well, this is going to take off, it's going to take off. Big thing about these guys that a lot of people kind of miss sometimes is the fact that they have a pretty darn crazy team. It's distributed GPU rendering on the blockchain. This is what the website looks like. Pretty straightforward. And the vision is to democratize GPU cloud rendering. So again, like, think of your GPU as a money-making machine, because there is a shortage on those. And the more people that, can take advantage of that, the better. And talking about the people, yeah, you got Jules over here as the founder, but stinking JJ Abrams is part of their team. Not only that, but also Brandon Ike. He's the guy that put together the Brave browser. Like, they have some huge names when it comes to the team and advisors, on their team there, and it's just something that you can't miss this one. It's something that I would say you definitely want to watch for. Today alone, I think they're up 17%. So they've been pumping. So taking a look at the TA there, CryptoData. Like, what is the details on what's going on over there?
Yeah, so Render token, definitely one I've been bullish on for a while now. I actually got into it near that $1.13 mark, again, after it has initial pump. People in the Discord were talking about it a little earlier than that, but it's one of those things, like you were saying, that they already have a lot of real world use cases, right? It's not just some random AI token that has AI in the name and it doesn't do anything. Like, it actually has real world use application. Apple uses it, Octane X. It was actually used to make the Last of Us trailer, which a lot of us didn't know, on HBO. So they've had a lot of big industry integration. And right now on the chart, you can see that Render actually did just break its resistance at 172. So 172 is resistance on February 3rd. Again, it broke down from that on February 9th, but actually regained above it. Now, if it closes above this, I'm definitely going to be targeting this 213 level. I'm going to look for it to break this all-time high because, like I mentioned, it's rank 90 token right now, and I believe it can be ranked at least 40 or 30. Is that good? With, again, you want to look for a real world use case with AI, this is it. So it's above the 250 and 100 EMA. DVO indicator started to turn bullish. We can even go on the 4 hour here. So you can see the 4 hour, again, it just broke above all three, just broke above that 50 EMA. So it is extremely bullish right now. And if it were me, I would buy some just for a long-term hold. Again, it's one of those coins where you really don't want to swing them too much. It's going to be, pay off to just hold it, especially over the next few months. If crypto continues to pump like it is, I could easily see this, being a $3-4 token in the next couple months if everything in BTC behaves itself. So yeah, definitely excited about the Render token. Again, it's one of the AI coins that I have. And then, yeah, it's one of the strongest performers in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. Especially after what we saw today, with how much it just came right back up. Yeah, I mean, what was the high? The high was at 213.
Yep, 213.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see some of these coins actually do stuff because, yeah, they've had higher highs, but man, let's be serious. That was when everything was having higher highs.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that doesn't necessarily count. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Tells you the potential of it being all the way up here near, $8. So
exactly. Yeah. No, that's great. Cool. Well, I don't want to take too long with this. Thank you so much for your time. Remember, he's got that link. I'm going to make him a link. It's going to be CryptoData.action.ceo, so you can get to his stuff. It's going to be so much easier. But I appreciate you hanging out, giving us a little bit of info, and actually hang tight. Don't go anywhere. Yeah, if you guys haven't hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, do that as well here. But I'm gonna roll credits, and then we'll have a little chat afterwards. For the people that want to actually stick around and hear what we are thinking. Definitely not financial advice, but we got some cool stuff. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. All right, we're back. So you can turn the voice off, CryptoData. Like, I know you always sound fantastic when you're talking to me on video, but like you can use your normal voice, man.
Okay, thank you, man.
That would be hilarious if that was the case, dude. But all right, so
that's awesome.
The reason I asked you to stick around is because I actually enjoyed. This part is my favorite because I don't feel like I have to hold on a show. It's like, let's just hang out and talk. Yep. I know we've had conversation about like what's happening in the market, like things that are popping, things that are doing well, not well. And the latest thing was, the SEC kind of going nutso on everybody and kind of cracking down on whatever they can. And that had a kind of a great effect on some tokens because people are looking for a decentralized way to invest, a decentralized way to kind of take loans out and things of that nature. Any tokens out there, any platforms that you have in mind that have been affected positively by this, everything that's been going on?
Yeah, so first of all, hey, I love this, if you want to call it after action report. Action after dark. But no, this is great though. This is great. I love, like you said.
Wait, not that after dark. Never mind.
NSFW. But it's been crazy, right, with the SEC and everything.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest things is people want to with the whole centralized exchange debacle, everyone's taking their crypto off exchanges. We're only trading a little bit. Then the SEC basically coming after everyone and their mom, right? So it's like, what's safe? And I think a lot of people are really gravitating towards DEXs, right? With one of the biggest ones being GMX. And GMX is the DEX on Arbitrum, for people who don't know. And it's been gaining a ton of volume, ton of volume, really over the past year. And it's only been actually recently hit an all-time high of $80. And you can see here from the chart from October of last year, and it's just really just been going up. And everyone's I would say their interest in DEXs now is just spiked. And that's why you're seeing this run up in GMX. Being able to leverage trade on a DEX is something huge. And real quick, I'll go over some DEX charts if you're cool with it.
Dude, I'm down. I mean,
sweet.
Who's going to stick around and watch this? Oh yeah, people will watch it because I'll give other stuff away here too.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Gotta plug it. But it's cool. Then with that, we'll go over GMX here. So right now, GMX on the daily, again, very, very bullish. We recently broke an all-time high. The daily candle closed above it. That's what you want to see. Now, if you're thinking of getting in GMX, again, what we always talk about, when it breaks resistance, you want to look for it to retest. That's your entry point, not in the middle of nowhere. So I would be looking to buy around this $72 level. Resistance turns support. And if it continues to break below that, then I would look at $67, okay? Two good areas of support right now. Now, again, the next area of resistance is going to be that $80 level, which it just hit. So if you're thinking of shorting it, I would short at $80. If you're thinking of longing, then again, I would long at 72. If it does end up breaking through 80, then really you're going to wait for it to retest. And then that's where you want to buy it, is right at that $80 level. So again, two different scenarios here. But yeah, GMX is very, very bullish. It's above all three EMAs. Even looking at it on the 4-hour here, it's above the 50, 200, and 100. So again, very bullish action here, and definitely one that I'm keeping an eye on. With really, actually, there's smaller DEXs that I'm looking at on GMX. Action, do you know what those are?
Are you talking about Camelot?
Hey, very good. See, you've done your research.
So, but hang on a second. Like, what's the deal with Camelot? Like, I don't get why their token price is so stinking high. Like, why don't they like split the token? Because it wasn't like $3,000 or something like that.
Yeah. So right now it's $2,800, and it listed, I think it was around 200 or less. And it's crazy to see a token being that expensive. Now, I think it goes into their tokenomics model and really the limited supply they have. So, as you know, any coin with a limited amount of supply, it's going to have a higher coin price. Visa, Bitcoin, 21 million versus some of these meme coins that have 21 billion. Right. And then, it's 0.0001 price or something. So I think it really just goes on the supply of them. But yeah, unfortunately, that's the route that they went. Fortunately or unfortunately, I mean, the coin still seems to climb. And I think that's one of the biggest things is, a lot of these coins, people have a perception, if it's expensive, they don't buy it, which again, it's actually been proven. A lot of people have seen that. Even my friends, they'll say, hey man, this coin is only 50 cents. I think it can go up to $10. I'm like, wait. What's the supply of it? Right? If we're talking about Tron here, well, Tron, it's already ranked market cap, whatever it is, 40, 30. And so there's really not a lot where it's going to go 10, 20X on you right away, versus something smaller, in say, a rank 500 coin that still has a potential to climb a lot in market cap.
I mean,
so
Camelot's sitting at 1,888 right now, so there's plenty of room.
Yeah, 100%, right? And it's so that's one of the things. And for those who don't know what Camelot is, it's a DEX on Arbitrum. And remember how we mentioned GMX? It's been pumping so much; it recently broke all-time highs. Everyone's talking about it. Well, people are going to have that FOMO, but they're going to have that cope. They're going to want to say, man, I miss GMX. What's the next GMX, right? We've all been there. I'm sure you've been there, Action.
No. I never did that.
No. See, Action's a perfect trader. He never misses. He never gets it wrong. He always buys at the bottom, sells at the top.
I mean, I just listened to Michael Sky. He told me you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
There you go. Just shoot it. Shoot everything. There you go. Just shoot it all. There you go. See, I need to be more like Action in here. But it's a lot of people get it. They may not be as good as Action. They get that cope and they want to say, man, what's the next GMX token? Well, Arbitrum, the Camelot token on Arbitrum is actually one of those tokens. And there's a lot of times what I like to do is put the ticker symbol, so $Grail. That's the ticker symbol for Camelot DEX. And basically you can see, what people have been posting about it. There's been some good threads on Camelot DEX, and you basically just research it, say, hey, Here's the tokenomics. There's some good
no,
stuff.
You got to scroll down a little bit more. You got to scroll down a little bit more. There he is.
There you go. How did he know? How did he know? The guys, this was not planned. Michael Scott just appeared as Action called him. So, hey, what can you say?
That's
what can
awesome.
you say? You can't time it any better. So, again, there's a lot of threads on here, so I highly recommend reading it. Again, it's already pumped a lot. So, quick TA on this. I would say wait for it to break and hold above this $2,800 level if you're thinking of longing, because if not, then I would wait for it to go down to this 2,300 level. So this is a good area of support here. Below that, then you're looking at 1,800. So again, I wouldn't necessarily buy it here. If it broke above here and retested it as support, then I would buy right there, right? So these are the kind of levels you have to play, the kind of discipline you have to have when you're dealing with these new tokens, especially tokens that have a hype cycle, have a narrative that may or may not be long-term. So definitely take emotion out of it and, look to buy at those good support levels, not, when it's just mooning and there's really no pullback. You always want to buy on pullbacks because at least you're not buying at the top, right?
So. Talking about, crazy pumps, there is another one that pumped like crazy today. And it's because of the same reason, I believe, Vella, right?
Yeah, Vella actually. So Vella has been pumping like crazy, and it looks similar to Camelot Dex. Now, for those who don't know what Vella is actually, you can see here on their Twitter at Vella_exchange. It says empowering DeFi traders with fast execution, cheap transactions, advanced trading features, and self-custody. So it is on the Arbitrum network, again, with the narrative of GMX. And they actually have their beta open right now. And with Vella, what you can do is you can actually trade on there. And I believe you can actually trade on leverage, if I'm not mistaken, on the Vella Exchange.
Yep.
So yeah, so it's one of those where, again, they're getting into that DEX leverage trading market, which we already mentioned earlier is a big deal. A lot of people are looking for that via GMX. Well, Vella Exchange right now is, I believe, only ranked 500, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to actually do a quick coin gecko here, and we can see the Vela token. Yeah, so it's ranked 524, up 47%, and it's only market cap of $37 million versus GMX, which we can even look at the top gainers. I'm sure it'll be right there. So GMX is ranked 77, right, with over a 632 million market cap. So 20x what Vela is. So yeah, so obviously I don't like saying it's going to get to the same amount, maybe half of what GMX is, maybe a quarter, but even still,
which is still great.
You're still looking at 4 or 5x from where it's at right now, right? So just looking at the chart here, obviously it's just reached all-time highs. This is going to be a little bearish divergence, so that's why you're having the rejection here. I would be looking closely at this 615 level and then DCAing down to this 573 level, which was big resistance. Now it's support, right? So these are two levels I would look at if you're looking to buy some. But, Vela, like I said, has been doing very, very well, but it has been pumping a lot over the past day or two. So that's why you want to kind of, exercise caution when you're buying right now. But again, looking at these big support levels is what you want to be looking at when you have strong performers like this.
That's awesome. And remember how I said we're going to do extra giveaways? So here's what we do. I want to know whose mic sounds better. It's either CryptoData or Action Crypto. So hashtag CryptoData or Action Crypto on your comment, and I'll do an easy one. I got gift cards, so I'll pull out a gift card and give it to one of y'all. Easy one there.
Ooh, but I'm liking that one.
I want to close this out with something different. You got anything different?
Yeah. Let's see. What do you think of Tesla?
I mean, I want one, but I don't like spending money, so I still got my old beat up car. Like, it's one of those things, man. Like, spending is so hard.
Yes. I'd rather chew up your next leverage.
But you're talking about the actual stock?
Yeah,
I got a lot of that.
There you go. Hey, smart man. See, Action's buying the bottoms, he's selling the tops. I love it. So that's, Tesla stock. It's been doing great recently. Now, anyone who's been following us, we shared Tesla on our previous videos, and we talked about this RSI, which was below the 30 level on the weekly. Now, people don't look at the weekly a lot. And you should, because of reasons like this. I saw the weekly getting under the 30 level. Again, towards the beginning of January, I saw it was very low and I said, hey, this thing's gonna bounce soon. And lo and behold, it coincided with this horizontal support at 111, and that is where it bounced. From there, it went nearly 200% to where it's at now of 209. Now, anyone who is in Tesla right now is wondering when to sell or even when to buy if you're not in it. 214 is a big resistance point, okay? It's where we wicked to the other day, but it rejected off of that. Now, why? As you can see here, it was previous supports on June of last year, May of last year, and even August of last year. It's been resistance for that long. So really, once we break that 214, then really it's clear skies up until 260. So, I mean, that's got to be over a, 30% move, which is crazy for a stock. So that's what I'm looking at right now for Tesla. Until we break this 214 level, again, I'd probably exercise some profit taking here. But what are some catalysts for Tesla? We got Cybertruck. We got, what else? They have the highest safety rating. I believe that came out a couple weeks back. So they had a lot of positive news, and I think it's going to continue.
Free marketing on Twitter.
Free marketing on Twitter. Exactly. Got Elon posting about Tesla every day. So again, there's a lot of catalysts for Tesla, and I'm bullish on the stock. Now, it's not invulnerable to the stock market. So the stock market, takes downturn there, then Tesla's probably going to do the same. But regardless, I think it is, a safer long-term hold, especially with that Cybertruck coming out into December. That's going to create a ton of hype, especially with Elon Musk saying it's the best that they've created.
I don't talk much about stocks, but man, it's so much easier to trade than crypto. Like everything is basically stretched out. I mean, crypto is like always going left and right. The movement is so much faster. With stocks, I mean, you can literally zoom out and watch this thing really long term. Like you're saying, taking a look at the week instead of the day, right?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And that's what you need to do in these stocks is like, a lot of times you look at the weekly, where the crypto, it's super fast. So really the daily is all you need, but the weekly with stocks, that's really what you want to focus on. And a lot of times that's what the bigger institutions are focusing on, because a lot of these guys, they aren't day trading necessarily. They're trading with tens of millions of dollars that they're holding for, 3, 6 months, a year at a time. So they're not looking at those shorter time frames.
Dead on. Awesome. Well, anything else? I just want to make sure that was it. Why don't you plug yourself again? Go ahead. Show them where you can find your stuff. Come on, put it up.
Okay. So first, my profile is at the CryptoData on Twitter. You can follow me there. Again, I post a lot about different coins, my research, TA, all that good stuff. I have my YouTube linked here, youtube.com/CryptoData, as well as my TradingView account, which is CryptoScripts. I make indicators. I have a Twitter here, CryptoScripts1, as well as a YouTube /CryptoScripts, where I make tutorial videos of all these indicators I have. And then also on my YouTube, I do have links to my Discord, which I have a free and paid, both in there, but we share a lot of good info either way, and keep everyone up to date. So definitely join any of that. And please let me know if y'all have any questions. DMs are always open. Sweet, man. Well, I appreciate you hanging out. It's been awesome. Let me go get, kind of chop this up, edit it. I'm not taking the good parts out. Don't worry. Just the ones you spoke. So we'll be good to go. Ooh. No, but for real. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody that's sticking around and watching the video. And I'm going to see you guys on the next one. Let me see if I can bang out another one tomorrow and just keep at it. Cause I got that drawer full of stuff I need to get out of here. So more giveaways, more things to give out, more info to give you. Thanks, Action. Appreciate it. Thank you, buddy. You guys have a great one. Take care.